Hello, welcome back to the Lightbulb podcast. I'm your one and only host, American Lightbulb, and yeah, today I'm in nature, like deadass actually in nature. I'm right now sitting on a port, well, a docking station for boats at least. I mean that is what a port is, but you get the point. I'm surrounded by water, trees, and I have a black and mild in my hands that I'm about to light up. So if you can pardon me. Yeah, stupid lighter's not working. Alright, there we go. Alright, I got it working after a while. So, anyway, the reason why I'm sitting out in nature is because I feel like it. I mean, it's nice out right now. A lot of, good weather. It's the sunset right now. And, yeah, I really fucking love it. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and lay down too. Because I don't feel like sitting whatsoever. So, if you can excuse me so much, I have to grab the water bottle out of this thing because I don't feel like, laying down a water bottle. Yeah, that's way better. Let me get right perched up. Yeah, so anyway. Man, I honestly don't even want to do this podcast episode right now, but you know what? With the time budget I am on right now, and with the tests coming up, yeah, I might as well do it now than never. But actually, jokes aside, because it's Men's Mental Awareness Month, Mental Health Awareness Month, actually, as a matter of fact, I just want to talk about, all the brave men in our lives, whatever it be, fathers, brothers, sisters, friends, or boyfriends, that, listen, they might not be saying shit, but they're definitely struggling, one way or another. And I'm not joking when I say this. But, yeah, we're struggling. Some of us, at least. Some of us are happy with the way we are right now. Some of us just got out of a relationship. Not me, though. Y'all stay safe. And some of us really just are finding the purpose of life. Now, as a 17-year-old smoking right now, I cannot say that I have any idea to, what the purpose of life is. And I talked about this in previous podcasts. But overall, I just want to say is that, the men in your life are probably struggling, and you should go ahead and check up on them, no matter what. My friends included too. I'm gonna be checking up on all of you motherfuckers. I mean, yes, half of us are schizo posting and have no idea what we're doing with our lives, but we're having fun, and you know what? Yeah, that sums it up. Anyway, with that little short PSA out of the way, I want to go ahead and talk about a very very cliche topic that I feel like a lot of people can relate to, maybe not, but just nostalgia in general. Now, I'm not saying like nostalgia as in like, like childhood nostalgia, like back in that. I mean, yeah, I could be talking about that, but I'm talking about more like, core memories. Like, especially with like your friends, because honestly, just me and my friend just sat down. Actually, it was three of us. We all got we had a Discord group, and, we just messaged for a bit. And honestly, I realized that, despite the fact that we may or may not have changed over these past years I've known him, another him to each other, we still stay the same. Like, yeah, sure, we may have gained some very bad attributes, like smoking, drinking, racism, misogyny. Not me, though. We're still, friends. And our, like, common interest of what connected us all together still remains. And if that does not remain, then the new interests that, connected us together still remains. Now, I'm not going to be saying names of these people. I'll just refer them to their names. Not actual names, more like, letters. But I will, however, refer to the fact that I was talking to Def, who is the self-acclaimed co-host. If you're listening to this, Def, I may not be saying this, but I'd be appreciating, the shit that you be doing for me sometimes. And I'm kind of happy that, you came into my life unexpectedly in high school. But anyhow, I just want to say that, man, I'm so confused on what I want to talk about. Like, there's so much shit I want to cover about these two. Like, I think I'll start off with Def. Now, I feel like it would be appropriate if he was here on the podcast right now talking about this, and I'm not sure if we talked about this before on the podcast, but I do want to say that I met Def as it's a very, like, happy accident that I had. Like, call me cliche, call me Bob Ross wannabe, but it was a very happy accident that I met this wonderful Arab in my life. So it was during high school, first year. We had I knew Def before this, but not on a personal level. I heard, a lot of things about him. Some were good, some were bad. But I didn't let that, judge, who he is, face value. And, I just let the, experience talk. And honestly, the experience has proven the fact that he's sometimes of an asshole, but you know what? That one makes him fun. Sorry, I had to take a pull. But anyhow, as I was saying, Def really is... It was really something, because we did never expect the fact that our friendship will go this far, because on first, we agreed that we're going to have a temporary friendship, and then we're going to build off of that, and, who knows, maybe, if things laid differently, we should have split off, but, we were two people in a 400 or 450 people's school. That's how much people were in the school. I know that's pretty small for a high school, but nonetheless. And it was a different environment, especially since we were surrounded by different kids, different culture. I don't want to sound racist, but yeah, that's how it was. And with all these new rules and understanding how high school actually works, because trust me, now, I'm not going to say, I have middle schoolers or elementary schoolers listening to this podcast. This is, in fact, a 13-plus podcast, maybe rated T for teen or rated M for mature, but nonetheless, it's not how they paint it in the movies or, in the films or even in animations. It's not how it worked. It may have worked like that back at 2008, but it does not work the same way it works right now. Nonetheless, we helped each other to, survive. We build, contacts. And honestly, it kind of sticked. And honestly, I'm kind of happy because without him, I would have never went to the gym. I would have never, became the man I am right now. Would I have been better off without him? Who knows? Because whatever happened, happened. And, you shouldn't be going ahead and focusing on what could have happened. Because you just got to move on with life. And with the future too. But man, I could not appreciate Def enough. Here's the reason why I probably, we always had these friendly competitions. We still do, no matter of fact. I wouldn't say they're friendly, they're passive aggressive, but still, nonetheless competitions, and we're friends, so hence friendly competitions. But yeah, this man, He was the reason why I woke up, I'm not going to say he's the reason why I woke up to go to school every day, but he made high school life, more bearable. And then, as the years went on, now I'm in, junior year, going into senior year, and we kind of had to, our schedules aren't the same anymore, but we still see each other after school. And he introduced me to a lot of, people, some people that you met on this podcast, such as, I forgot his code name. I'm not going to say it, but his name starts with a V. You know exactly who you are. You're probably going to be listening to this podcast right now as soon as it uploads, because I know, like, this man is also, like, my biggest supporter. Like, I really love this man. Hold on, man. I got to turn on my phone. All right, turn my phone on. Yeah, it just, went to sleep mode. But anyway, yeah, some good memories. As for the kid that starts with the letter N, I'm not going to say his full name, but N also probably made me the man that I am today. He showed me, he showed me Roblox, he showed me video games. I know, without him, I probably wouldn't be, playing and all that shit. He's also a very interesting person. Like, sure, he's a little bit unhinged. Even in his childhood, he was still unhinged. But no matter of fact, he's one of my closest friends. He's one of my day ones. I have a lot of day ones that are still with me. Let me count them off my fingers. N, Def. Well, I mean, I'll consider Def my day one, despite the fact I only known him for 3 years. T, B, A, F. Yeah, it's a lot of people. Without them, I wouldn't be who I am. And you know what? They make life way more easier for me. They make my day better. Without them, I would probably be a sad piece of shit. I mean, I am sometimes a sad piece of shit, but, those are emotions and, the consequences of my own actions. What can I do about that? But, yeah. And, I mean, I'm sorry for almost killing N. If you didn't know, I could have been charged with, attempted homicide, but, he didn't put charges on me, so you're a real one for that, and, I paid him back with a lot of love and great memories, especially at, those, like, late night VCs that didn't give my parents sleep. Speaking of which, Father Day, was on Sunday. Right now I'm recording this on Monday, and, for some reason I'm slowly starting to appreciate, my the man in my life, my pops, my dad. I fucking love him to death. Like, I'm not sure if anyone from my family is going to be listening to this podcast, because my sister, like, I don't think my sister has time to be listening to this podcast. She's probably listening to her Joe Rogan podcast right now, or, being a salesperson, but nonetheless, I know, I fucking love my dad. Like, and I know some of my friends are, don't have the chance to, see their dad, or if their dad wasn't in their life, and honestly, I respect them for, being the man of the family. You know who I'm talking about. Now, I'm not sure if he's the man of family, of course, but, nonetheless, he's at least trying his best with, a small brother, his mom, and her annoying boyfriend. You know who I'm talking about. I think I made it way too specific. It should have clicked in by then with him. And if you're listening to this, then, yeah, I may not show it, especially since you're black, but I appreciate you. Yeah, if it wasn't obvious, I have a little bit of racism, but then again, I just hate everyone equally. I think that's normal, because honestly, I'm not even racist at this point. I just, just hate people because of how they act. Now, I'm not going to talk deep into that racism shit. Mostly because I'm trying to, preserve my future in case I ever do go through with my educational plans. But back to what I was saying, Father's Day went really nice. I had a Black and Mild with him. We drank. We talked. And, my dad didn't grow up with a dad because, his dad, my grandfather on my dad's side, died at a very young age. My dad was only, 6, and, his dad never came back home. He got into a car crash. And honestly, see the fact that, my dad, such a wonderful man, has, grown up, had 2 amazing children, me included, And, I gotta appreciate him for having the balls to, deal with the shit. Like my dad became, the perfect man, despite the fact he never had, probably a dad to, be a role model for him. He was the true definition of being the man of the house. Like, if you ever searched up what does it mean to be the man of the family, my dad is definitely the number one thing. Like, number one, like, textbook definition of that. And, for some reason, I started appreciating my family more and more. I mean, I always did appreciate them. But, like, now I just appreciate them way more. Like, I've probably grown soft. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. If you compared me right now to freshman year, I would say that the pros only, like, a little bit outweigh the cons. I mean, yeah, my concept of a relationship has, changed, which I'm not sure. I'm not going to talk about that because it's unrelated to the topic. But, I'm kind of happy that I had these, like, friends that I could look up to sometimes. Like, I mean, always look up to. I mean, sure, they did some shitty things now and then. But nonetheless, I can still look up to them. And, yeah, I know, it's kind of nice. And I know some people don't get to experience that, but fuck, I need to light this up again. It died off. Yeah, sorry if I'm smoking on this podcast and taking pulls. I'm not going to be editing that out. Y'all can go ahead and suffer like the 4 seconds of me, pulling a cigar like right now. Yeah, sorry for that. Or not. This is my podcast. And you, with your will in mind, decide to watch this. So, yeah. I'm probably not going to be smoking for the entire podcast, but, I'm almost done with this, so please bear a little bit longer. And, yeah, I don't know what to say. Appreciate the men in your life. And if you don't have men, appreciate women. I know Mother's Day has passed, or I think it has passed. I'm not sure. I'm not good with holidays, nor with birthdays. But yeah. I also want to, go ahead and talk about some of my other friends, because they made middle school life bearable. I talked about the people who made high school bearable, and now I'm going to go ahead and talk about the people who made middle school bearable. You know who your names are, and if not, I'm going to go ahead and say your first letter, first name, first letter. So, I want to talk about Jay. Now, this man, he's so good. Like, he's the perfect house husband. Like, if I was gay, I would have married him. Like, no homo. But, this man, he plants, he cooks. He'll be a great father. I would love to see that man become a father. Like, one day he's going to find himself a nice wife. He's going to become a father, and, he's going to be amazing at it. Hell, if I was a woman, I would let him hit. Like, sure, he might be short, but, he's a short king. He's a true definition of a short king. Shout out to my boy Jay. As from A, well, he kind of introduced me to Jay, to everyone else, and honestly, I love him too. As for R, I may have not, talked to you a lot, nor do I know a lot about you. We did hang out before you moved to PA. Speaking of which, I am in PA right now, so I should probably... So, yeah, I would definitely, sometimes visit you, or you can come visit me. I would love to. I would love to see your new crib, too. But, yeah, back to what I was saying. As to A, he was probably one of my only friends that, he was one of the few friends that stick to me through middle school, and, it made middle school bearable for me. We became really tight friends during senior year of middle school, and honestly, without him, I probably wouldn't, would have known all these amazing people. So, I'm not sure, all my friends play a valuable asset to, like, meeting one person or another person, and even then, if they only acted like a, like like a bridge, they're still friends nonetheless. And honestly, I can respect them for, being such amazing people. But anyway, as back to saying, back to R, you know who you are, the one PA. I haven't talked to you a lot, but you're a chill person. I love to talk to you. Like, you don't talk a lot, but, I appreciate, you being there. You're also a cool person to hang out with, back when we did hang out. Yeah, a lot of fun stuff. Oh, fuck. As for the people in high school, I'm not sure if they're going to be listening to this, but, you made IT bearable, especially with Mr. H. You made IT very bearable. And yeah, we had some fun in the classroom, goofing off, especially, when not needed. And especially when, three dumbasses broke a monitor. Kind of made my day better, despite the fact you guys got penalized for it a lot heavily. But nonetheless, you made high school somewhat bearable. Sure, we are not that close, but trust me, your impact on me and my high school life made it a lot more bearable. Yeah, I'm going to take a sip of water because I'm running out of breath. I can't believe, and my legs are going numb. I'm going to reposition myself. That's some good ass water. Surprised it didn't go stale yet. But, yeah. As for the people who I met online, even to the people that I don't talk to anymore, you learned me. You gave me some lessons to learn. Surely, you guys don't talk to me anymore. And honestly, I feel kind of bad the way I treated you. You know who your names are, and even then, if I can contact you, well, just saying that you guys were an enjoyable chapter in my life. I sadly had to move on past you guys. And to my exes, fuck them all. just fuck love in general. I think I'm gonna stop loving people for now. And even if I let love, come to me naturally, yeah, you guys were some, you guys did some good. You were guys like happy accidents, but you also were like bad accidents too. I'm not gonna say names, not even gonna mention them, but my friends know who they are because I talked to them a lot when I was at my worst. And yeah, I don't know what to say. Like, I generally don't know what to say anymore. I mean, I said everything I could say, but now, But yeah, back to why I wanted to record this podcast. Mental awareness, month. Yeah, to all the strong men who are listening to this podcast and who haven't offed themselves yet, congratulations. Congratulations. You guys lived another day, and hopefully you guys will keep on living. And shout out to all the meme pages, Cole especially. I'm gonna say Cole because I'm not gonna refer to you as your 5 other alternative names. But Cole, if you're listening to this podcast, and I hope someone sends this Cole, and especially this part, if anyone from one of those schizophrenic servers that Cole is in, listens to this podcast and reaches up to this part, I want you to go ahead and tell Cole that he's an amazing person, despite the fact he wants you so much. Low-key, this man's, gym status is amazing, despite the fact I don't know him on a personal level. But Cole, you're probably one of the best meme pages that I ever, stumbled upon. But, yeah, there's not really that much I can talk about. But what the fuck am I doing? I'm talking about mental awareness. There's just one thing to me thanking everyone. It's like a fucking suicide note. But let's get into a touchy subject, suicide. Now, I'm not gonna say that, the thought of suicide never crossed my mind, nor would I not say that I did do a lot of self-harm in a form of, not smoking, but like cutting and probably attempting to go ahead and make a noose, which turned out terrible. Not fond memories, but nonetheless, I'm kind of happy I didn't act fully or like act full through on those actions, because if I did take my life back when I was 14 or 13 and I actually went with the plan of killing myself, then I would have not met a lot of people who, changed me for the better. And trust me, it gets better. The life of a struggler might be hard, but trust me, it gets better. Like a lot of people who have killed themselves at a way too early age, especially teens, they will never see, true potential of their life. Reminds me of, oh fuck, I hit myself with a bunch of fucking ash. But anyway, in the words of Socrates, or however the hell you pronounce his name, I've never been good at pronouncing names, give me a break. But for a man to not live out and to see his true his true peak. No wait, that's not how the line goes. Fuck. It's a shame to see a man not, see his true name. And matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and search up what this thing is called. Is it still going? Yeah, okay, it's still going. Yeah, I'm gonna go right now and search up Socrates. I don't even have service. You're fucking shitting me. This sucks ass. I thought I would have service in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. Oh well. But it's a shame to see a man not witness his true potential or his true form. It was something along the lines of those. And honestly, I feel like more people should hear this quote and think about it before they attempt to, pull the noose or like kick the bucket, to be more specific. Because those motherfuckers, haven't lived out their true life potential, and it's a really big shame. And for all the men who are struggling, to reach their true potential, just remember that every day it's going to be better. You may or may not have seen progress, but whatever it be, mental, physical, or emotional, we will make it, bros. We will fucking make it. And, life doesn't matter about, because it may or may not just hit me right now, but life, especially in the early stages, like when you're like in your 10s or 20s or 30s, life is not about, just life is not just about, romance. It's like, if you're mentally ill, please just seek help. Don't try looking for a girl, because trust me, I'm speaking this from experience. I still yearn for, being loved. But, sometimes it's just, about having the friends around you that makes you feel loved. Because love doesn't have to be, like romantical. It can also be platonic. And honestly, you gotta appreciate having the platonic, love between your friends. Like, I have platonic love with all my homies. Like, sure, we say some sus shit, but nonetheless, we all love each other platonically. And even if, the boys, don't show that type of love, trust me, I love you. Like, yeah, sure, we might call each other slurs, racist, bigoted things, but nonetheless, I love all of you. And with that being said, 30 minutes have just passed through me, and I'm not even done with this black and mild, so yeah, I feel like this is going to be a good point to finish off the podcast. I think I did a fair bit talking about men's mental health, because for these podcasts for this month, I want to talk about, the mental health of, of these great men that hopefully don't actually, off themselves at an early age. Because, it's a shame. Like Socrates once said, it's a shame for a man to not, live to his true potential, or see, to live up to his expectations. And yeah, I feel like that's a great way to sign off the podcast. So this has been your host, American Lightbulb. Hopefully, I will bring someone to be a co-host, or for one of the boys to come back on the podcast. Hopefully next weekend I'll get some content with a different group of people who might think different, or think the same as the other people you met on this podcast. And yeah, signing off, American Lightbulb. This has been episode 7 or 8. I'm not sure which. I lost track of count. And yeah, y'all stay safe and remember not to kill yourselves.